Welcome to James Bond Club Ireland. It's me, Paul Alley. I've got Andy, I've got Sean, and I've got Kev 00C. How's it going, guys?
All good. All good.
Not too bad.
All right. Well, the first thing on the agenda is Kev had a birthday. Happy birthday, Kev.
Happy birthday, Kev.
Thank you, guys. It means a lot.
Brilliant.
And thank you for all the lovely messages that you've all sent me and the abuse as well. I really do appreciate it all. Thank you.
That's any time of the day or night, Kev.
We
for
just
that.
start.
Yeah. It's been a few days now. I'd like you to stop on the abuse part of it, please. Thank you.
Oh, was that what that letter from the Garda was for?
Yeah, the cease and desist.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
That's
binned those,
the
Andy.
first warning. Don't worry. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? What have you been up to, lads?
Yeah, not too much. Again, just catching up on a few films, listening to the odd soundtrack, listening to actually a bit of You Only Live Twice there, and then jumping on into Her Majesty. So catching up on that, and time's flying. There's another week past, so yeah, all good.
You, Andy?
Unusually for me, it's just been soundtracks this week rather than
Oh, yeah?
viewing. I know it's probably well known I'm not the biggest fan of No Time to Die, but it is probably one of my favourite soundtracks. I've had that on
It's a
the
banger.
car quite a lot this week.
Brilliant.
Nice to have a modern soundtrack that's been received so well. Yeah, I'm actually been a little bit obsessed with soundtracks. I've been listening to On Her Majesty's Secret Service because I've been going down a rabbit hole of modular synthesizers. I know, who doesn't go down that every now and then?
As
But
you
the
do.
Moog modular synthesizer is a very 60s, 70s type of instrument, and John Barry, he just went for that at a time, which was a
Yeah.
bit kind of risky. So that's super. So I might do a small video on that. We'll see. Kev, what have you been up to?
I have been a little bit ahead of an episode in the future. I've been reading The Spy Who Loved Me, the book.
Nice.
Now
Okay.
I've been revisiting it because it's been a long time since I've read it.
Yeah,
And
it's a deep cut for most Bond fans, but it
it's
is
a
a good
deep
one.
cut, and that's partly why I think coming back to, because it's just I don't know. Is it that difficult second album? I don't know. It just has that different sense about it. But yeah, I'm kind of slowly, and actually I will confess, and I know Fraser's listening. Fraser Lockley, who does Enter the Library with us, will listen. I haven't been reading it quickly. I haven't been sitting down in a dedicated way, but I am getting through it.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's I don't know what it was for Fleming, a palate cleanser or some way to shake the creativity up, but who's going to blame someone who's an artist, a creator, or a writer for trying to shake it up? You know, it's a strange one, but I think if you're a completist with the Fleming stuff, it's definitely worth getting into. Getting into slightly more mainstream, maybe most Bond fans' top 10, I'd say this swirls around. This film that we're all going to talk about today is Thunderball. And why are we talking about Thunderball? Oh, show us it. Look up, look down.
Actually, I need to frame it up, but there we go. That's what we're talking about.
Now, why are we
Doesn't it
talking
look
about it
amazing?
today? It does. Look, it's one of the greatest
Classics.
posters ever. That is McGuinness, isn't it? Robert McGuinness who did that.
So yeah.
I mean, anyone who's seen the thumbnail for the episode that they're watching will know exactly why we're talking about this now. But tell me, who are we speaking to today? We're talking to Martine Beswicke and Luciana Paluzzi from Thunderball. I can't believe it. And together as well, together. Cue an enormous roar. Okay, so having introduced them, we have, right? I don't think we should wait any longer. Let's go straight to the interview. Check it out.
Let's go.
Welcome to James Bond Club Ireland. We have two incredible guests with us today. Thunderball's Luciana Solomon, obviously we know her as Luciana Paluzzi, and of course Martine Beswicke, also from Thunderball, but also from Russia with Love. Welcome, both of you. It is fantastic to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you all.
It's
Hey,
wonderful.
lovely.
We're delighted to have you for a number of reasons. Principally because obviously you are from one of our favorite films in our absolutely favorite franchise. You are idols to Bond fans all over the world, and also because you guys are so engaging with the fan community, and we really appreciate that you're doing this with us today. We want to have fun and chat with you, but I do want to call out something very special. A very special coincidence about today. So one of the people in this group, his absolute favorite Bond film of all time is Thunderball. That is Kevin O'Callaghan. And yesterday was Kevin's birthday. So we wanted, this is a big surprise for Kevin. Not a surprise, but a good present for him.
42.
He knew it was his birthday.
Happy birthday, Kevin. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
43.
Keep going, Luciana, but you'll get there. We'll get there soon enough. I try to look.
We only have we only have an hour, Kev. I don't know if she'll get there on time.
That is the best birthday present ever. I am done. Thank you both.
Did you have a nice birthday?
I did. Thank you. I did. I was surrounded by the family here, so they kept me busy.
Good.
Oh, good. Are you all in Ireland? Are you all in Ireland?
Mm-hmm.
Aha. Okay.
Yes.
I have a confession to make. I am not actually. Although I am president of James Bond Club Ireland, I actually live in Zurich at the moment. I have been living here since last year. My wife is Swiss Irish, and Swiss Italian, I should say. That's why, Luciana, I have been attempting to learn to speak.
No, but you
Italian.
write it very well. I was very surprised actually. And
Grazie mille. But I had to have that corrected by my wife. But nonetheless, it was nice.
she's okay. She's supervising. Where is she from?
She's from she's from Zurich, but she speaks fluent Italian because her father was Italian. He came from near Como, Menaggio in
It's
Como.
funny that my mother was born around there. My mother was born in
Really?
Lecco because they lived in Milan, but they had a home for the summer where they would go to in Lecco, which is on the lake, and
Yes.
that's where she was born. So
That's
the
a
wife
stunning
and
part of the world.
beautiful.
That is a nice connection. And I just noticed another amusing coincidence that your birthday, June 10th, is actually my wife's birthday as well. So
Your wives?
yeah, so there's another coincidence.
Oh my God. And my dog, I have a rescue dog that I rescued, and after 6 months of intense, I was trying to find out where he came from. And I found out that he was born June 10 as well. We have 7 years difference.
Luciana, I feel like we should have some communal birthday party for all of the, all the three of you.
Monty, what's your wife's name?
Monica, actually.
Monica.
And her surname is Chetti. Well, it's obviously
Chetti.
very Italian, yes. So yeah, so we have Italian family. We love to go there. It's great. It's really nice.
Okay, good.
So maybe we should talk about your careers in Bond. Kev, do you want to ask about their backgrounds a little bit?
Okay, we get hi Martine and Luciana again.
June, right.
So
I might have a little coughing every now and again, so forgive me.
Oh, go for it.
It's something I live with.
We're all for people to have a nice drink while they're on the call and have a chat. So you're
This is have a real drink
non-alcoholic.
I can't.
Well, whatever. We're all good. All right, let's touch a little bit. I'm asking this question a little bit selfishly because I have a young daughter here who's always interested in acting. So I'd love to kind of for her and for the audience who is listening as well, how you got started in your careers and how do you go from the early beginnings to where you end up in Bond films and beyond. Martine, can I start with you on that one? How do you begin? How did it start for you?
What, to me?
Yes.
Well, actually, I was modeling, and a lot of us came from modeling, and it was different when we started. It was much different to what it is today. I think it's really tougher today.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because you really have to, the audition situation is mind-blowing because it's all on tape. So you don't have, I mean, and I'm sure Luciana had too. I mean, we went in and we read, you know, in person. We met the director in person. That doesn't happen like now.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I've been out of the business since I married Michael Solomon. So that's 46 years that I don't act anymore. So I have no clue what's happening today with the young actors, how they go for interviews. I have no idea. So you know, because you're
Well, because I
you
have a
work it.
friend of mine. Actually, I've got a friend of mine who comes in from Spain, and she's, you know, because she's sort of between the two, and it's difficult because of Brexit. We don't go into that. But what it's happening is that I end up, because we're really good friends, I end up being the production designer. I end up, you know, holding the camera, setting up, you know, a whole room. I mean, doing the whole, I mean, you've got to put it all together to send off to whoever, to the casting director. And I don't know what happens after that. I mean, with her, it seems that she gets the audition and they might call her back in, but sometimes it just goes straight to, you know, work. It's pretty, it blew me away, but we did have fun doing it, by the way.
I started at the dinner table. That's how my career started, because I wanted to be a naval engineer, and I was going to the Scientific Lyceum in Milan. I wanted to build ships, not even boats, big ships. And and so just by accident, we were having dinner. My father was a colonel in the army, and he was kind of strict. And I was going to La Scala in Milan also. That was like an hobby to be a ballerina. I thought that was not a serious profession. Yeah, we're talking a century ago, practically. You know what I mean? Different education. So we were all having dinner with friends of his, and one of them was an assistant director or a production manager, depending, because he spoke several languages. Whenever they came to make a movie in Italy from somewhere else, they would hire him because he knew everything, and he could speak, as I said, I want to repeat myself, several languages. And he was complaining at the table, and he was saying, I can't, he was involved with the 3 coins in the fountain. And he was saying, I don't understand Jean Negulescu. He said, for a role that requires 2 lines, he says, it's driving me crazy. He says he can't find anybody that he likes. And it's such a little tiny role. And as he's talking, his eyes laid on me, and I was 14, 15. And he said, Luciana, why don't you come up? And I said, I looked at my father, and my father, because that's his friend, he thought it was a whole big joke. And he said, yeah, you want to go, go. So I went, and for some reasons, he gave me the part. It was the Rossano Brazzi little sister, and I had 2 lines. And that was like the most amazing experience, because I went with my mom, of course, and we had to go on location up in near Merano, which is the north of Italy. And I was saying, isn't that wonderful? I said, I'm having a great time. They're paying me. I am in a first class hotel. They paid all the expenses to get here. I said, sounds like fun. And so that's how my career started. And I went from 2 lines to 6 to 10. Within a year and a half, I had bigger roles, and I worked for 27 years. So
fabulous. I did not know that story. Fabulous.
Yeah, it was fun.
It is amazing. And one of the things I just want to point out is that, like, you both paint a picture of kind of innocence. You know, you started at age 14, 15, and Martine, you were picked up as a model, but you were swept into something that was, I mean, it was at the peak of its powers, a huge global phenomenon. Sean, you're going to ask about that, but I really wanted to sort of say that must have been a whirlwind for you guys, right? I know, Martine, you've spoken in the past about going to Brazil, and the sort of fan madness was kind of crazy. Is that something that you remember fondly, or a little bit of sort of bittersweet in that sense?
No, actually, I mean, first of all, I had been back to Jamaica because that's where I'm from, and I came back, and somebody had come to the island, a lovely man, and he was looking for his new star. So he put in a whole sort of, the paper said, this producer is looking for a star. He wants to photograph you, he wants to film you. So I did this thing, and he was a really lovely guy. There was no couch involved. He was just really a gentleman. And he took the piece of film and took it everywhere, including London.
Amazing.
And showed it to the biggest agency. Now, I have to tell you, I had no idea what an agency was. I was green. I mean, I always wanted to be an actress, but I didn't know what it entailed.
How old were you? Sorry, I'm asking the question.
How old was I?
No, please do it. Go ahead. This is
Keep
what it's
going.
about. Having you together. Do
when
it.
I came back, I was like 19
I was very young.
when I came back. But I'd been doing modeling in Jamaica, and I'd been doing these little tourist board films. So I had to be a tourist. Those were fun. So I was kind of like doing my little acting, because I was sort of, but it was lovely. Again, fun, Luciana, because, being in tourist films, it meant that I went to the best hotels.
Right.
It meant that I behaved like a tourist, and I drank good wines, and I ate great food, and I was being photographed, filmed, doing all of this. So that's how I started. Actually, fun. There's the key word.
Yeah, that's great. And speaking of fun, Sean, you want to talk a little bit about the Bond phenomenon of the culture of the 60s and that.
That's it. I just really get both your thoughts or views on coming around to 1965, and where the Bond films already had become a bit of a cultural phenomenon, as were the Bond girls. Just looking to maybe chat a wee bit about what was it like stepping into that world of James Bond and all the status and celebrity around that, and how did you feel stepping into the roles? Were you apprehensive? Was it going to be an exciting time? No, Martine, this is going to be your second film. You're already maybe in that surrounded already, and was it in terms of having like a director like Terence Young? How was that, being able to work with Terence again?
It wasn't yet. We knew that at that point, the series was successful, but not to the point that it became. I think actually Thunderball was the one that really broke all the records, mind-wise and audience-wise and all of that. So in particular, I went to do a test. I had already worked with Terence before, and I went to do a test in London, and there were like 300 girls in all the dressing rooms and the makeup room, and I tested for the role of Domino. And then I went back to Rome, and I waited and waited until, to hear some kind of news. And finally, I think it was like 2 months later, I got a call from Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman at the same time. And they said, we have good news and we have bad news. And by the way, if you already heard this, stop me, because I mentioned it a couple of times. So I always, like everybody else, I think, I wanted to hear the bad news first. So they said, you didn't get the role of Domino. Sorry, Luciana. And my heart sank, obviously, because I thought that was the end of it. But I said, so what is the good news after this? And they said, well, we thought that we would change the role of Fiona, which was supposed to be, I think, an Irish girl. And I look Irish.
Fiona Kelly. Yeah.
Irish.
We're not taking that personally, though, because you did such a great job.
So anyway, and he said, and you're going to play the villainess. And I jumped up, I think, from the chair. I was so excited because I always think that the villains have, I don't know, it's more fun to do a villain than to do the innocent. Right? So anyway, so that was the beginning. So I arrived in London to do the movie. And I really was not aware that this was going to be the success that 60 years after we are still talking. As a matter of fact, this morning I just found out, just to tell you, this series of movies just doesn't seem to end. That they put it all on Netflix. Every movie now has been bought by Netflix, and you can see it again. And it's amazing because I get, like I'm sure Martine gets fan letters from all over the world still saying, you know, the first movie I ever went to see with my father was your movie, blah, blah, blah. So these were kids, 7, 8 years old. And so it's an incredible experience. And I was not aware when I did the picture. I really didn't know that this was going to happen. What about you, Martine?
No, it was the same thing. I mean, I realized when I got there, when I got to Nassau, first of all, it was great because I remember, I mean, in fact, there's a photograph of the three of us leaving London on the plane that they'd hired for all of us to go down to the Bahamas.
Send it.
You know, and it was just amazing. And so the fun began right away. But when we got there, every newspaper, every magazine, every TV, they literally converged onto the island. It was mind-blowing. I mean, I suddenly found myself on the cover of Look and Life, and I thought, what on earth is going on? It really...
If you remember, Cubby and Harry, they rented the whole plane and they sent all the journalists down for a week to the Bahamas, and they were following us everywhere, where we dinner on the set, everywhere. But they sent a whole bunch. The plane was full of journalists. So no, if we wanted to pay for the publicity we got out of that movie, again, the covers of every magazine, everywhere, you couldn't pay. There was no way you could pay for that and say, I want to be, no. So
it was amazing. And I mean, when people ask me about Thunderball, I say, well, actually, it was actually the zenith of Bond. It was the moment when everything just went pow. And I didn't really realize, I mean, I'm still completely amazed and my mind is blown every day, including this. You know, it is never ending. This, I mean,
it's a gift that keeps on giving, they say. Right.
Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons. I mean, you're talking to sort of grown adults all over the world like us, but in the inner 10-year-old boy in all of us is crying, is very, very excited when, you know, when we meet you guys, and it's just the effect of those films is so indelible. And sorry, Andy, you were just about to jump in there, actually.
No, I'm listening.
Yeah, I was just going to say, hopefully it's never ending in a nice way.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, in a nice way. In a nice way. The love that you get from the people. They had the showing of Thunderball to celebrate the anniversary here in Los Angeles in a cinema. I couldn't believe it. It was filled to the brim. They had to pay to go to the... And afterwards, the way they come up to you, we had a chit chat like this with the public on the stage, and they give you so much love. And I think that's why we go to this kind of, I don't know, it's uplifting. You come out and I feel 5 inches taller, you know, so it's really nice.
That's lovely.
It's really lovely. I mean, I must say, I feel adored. We're adored. How lovely to be adored at our tender age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Martine, I tried to hide it, but when we met in London, my knees were like, "Oh my goodness, it's Martine Beswicke," you know. And I was like, "Get out of the way, Phil Dewhurst." No, it was really nice.
Where did we meet? Which event?
We were at the
Burlington.
What was we were in the Burlington Arcade. Do you remember there was a launch for the very expensive luggage where the Globetrotter.
Oh, I will never forget
Louis
that.
Vuitton?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I will never forget that. When
Yeah.
they told me, first of all, I don't know if you know about this, Luciana. There's all this, I mean, first of all, there's clothes, there's wines, there's belts, there's everything Bond that is incredibly expensive. This topped the list. This is all luggage, beautifully done. And inside to sort of display Thunderball, inside were the fabric, all the fabric was lining the suitcase, and it had all the photographs of all of us. I turned to them, I said, excuse me, where's my cut? Hello. Because it was, I said, and this is the little roll on to take it onto the plane.
I never saw
Cabin.
that.
This is just the roll, this is just the cabin one. And I said, but I mean, how much is this? They said, 3,500. What? 3,500 pounds. And then they said, and there's a waiting list.
But really, they should send us one. I mean, it's only the two of us left.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's not like there is anybody else. So they could have done that. You know that we're also, you may not know this, I was told, I didn't see it in Las Vegas, the slot machines, they have a Thunderball slot machine with our
No.
That's what I was told. Somebody sent me a picture, and but I haven't gone, so I don't know.
Oh my God. I know it's endless. Absolutely
Well,
endless. I mean,
I'm just going to use this opportunity to say that we do have James Bond Club Ireland t-shirts for 20 quid, right? So anybody looking out for Bond merch, a much cheaper option. Sorry, Martine, I cut across you.
Actually, it blew my mind. And then, of course, the regular size was like 6,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I could fly around the world for that. I think,
Not anymore. Not with the price of gas now.
Yeah, that's
We don't
true.
want
That's true.
that. We don't want stuff like
Oh God. Anyway.
But before we wander down the slippery slope of politics on the podcast,
Oh,
Andy,
Whoa.
it's clear you guys have an amazing bond, which is really lovely, and we're privileged to have you both on. But Andy, you wanted to ask about some of the relationships forged on the set of Thunderball.
Yes, going on from things that obviously we've read about and behind the scenes footage that we've seen. Working on the film, it seemed that everybody created a very strong bond with each other,
Yes.
with co-stars.
Yep.
Is
I
that obviously? Well, you're answering it before. Is that true? Yes, and did
Not
it help?
totally. I didn't have a good relationship with Claudine Auger. Sorry, I had a moment.
Oh,
With Claudine Auger. I wasn't crazy, and she wasn't crazy about me, but this happened so rarely because I get along with everybody. And I just had it, I don't know, she was too snobbish for me. I'm very humble.
She
in
was
my
too
own way.
French, darling. She was too French.
No, I know some French people are nice. So anyway, I with her it was always, and with everybody else it was fabulous because like Terence was like my dad. I lost my dad he was very young when he died. Well, sorry, but he was only 64. So for me now,
that is young. Yeah.
And Terence actually came from Rome, where he was shooting Incheon, to New York when I got married to give me away to Michael, and he flew the weekend. He came in on Saturday morning. We had the ceremony on Saturday night, and he flew back on Sunday to be on the set of Incheon on Monday morning. And he walked me down the steps, and we had it in a private home.
That's lovely.
And that's.
And I believe you're still friendly with his wife.
What was his wife's name?
Dorothea.
Dorothea. Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. But we never saw her. I saw her a couple of times when they invited me. They had a home in Cannes, in Captain Tib, actually. And So I went to visit them, and that's when I saw her. But she was never around. She never. I don't know. You see, with my husband, we are always together, but
Yes.
there were dinners and things like that. He would think that she would be there. She didn't care. I guess she didn't want to be around us. Don't know.
Was that Dosha?
Yes, Dosha.
Yeah.
That
But we only
Dorothea.
saw her we saw her now and again.
Yeah,
Once
exactly.
in a while we saw her. And I
Yeah.
actually really liked her. But as
Yeah.
you said, we didn't. She was I think I'm not so sure she was too happy in that, with all this madness.
The world.
It was.
Can I just ask, Martine, how did it differ, actually, the Thunderball experience versus the From Russia with Love experience? I mean, was the atmosphere different? Was it more intense? Was it more relaxed? And by the way, we are not a salacious podcast, but now that you've started talking about it, I believe your wrestling partner in From Russia with Love is Eliza Gore. Was not a lot of love lost between in that scene? Is that correct?
Well, it's really interesting because basically what's happened is that, in fact, I saw somebody had written up, quoted me saying, oh, she was an absolute cow and I didn't want to have anything to do. I did not say that. They made
Good
that
that you can
up.
clear that up then. Good.
What my feeling is that we didn't connect. And she was, I mean, she was an odd little one and she was never a sister. End of story. That was it. She was not a sister.
Look
This
how many
one
years we know each other.
is my
I know
sister.
longer than my husband. We're still in touch. We see each other. When I go to England, we see each other. When she comes here to Los Angeles, we see each other. And we love each other. And we enjoy being together. I had a similar relationship with Ursula Andress. I loved Ursula so much. In the last few years, she's unreachable. She's like become a blues and
a bit of a hermit, I think now, isn't she?
Yeah.
She just had a birthday, didn't she, recently as well?
I think so. Yeah. Yes. That she did.
But I suppose depending on what type of scene you're filming, if you actually don't get on with the person that you're acting opposite, it must be quite difficult if you're having to do a friendly scene when you really don't like the person that stood opposite you.
That's true.
You mean with a fight?
Well, obviously,
wasn't that
not
friendly?
necessarily the fight, but if you were acting opposite somebody that you don't like personally, it must be difficult.
That's why you're an actor. That's why you're an actor.
Yes.
It doesn't show. Right?
But we would be remiss if, as the Irish fan club, not to ask you a little bit about Kevin McClory, because obviously Thunderball stands out as an interesting film, the background between Fleming and McClory and the court case, but he was on the set and everybody seemed to really enjoy his company. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Great.
He had a home in the Bahamas. And we went to visit him after the movie, like a few years later. And we had a very good relationship. I really liked him. I liked his sense of humor. I loved him.
Me too.
Terence liked him also.
Yes.
Terence liked him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
We all kind of hung out. I mean, because it was sort of, it was a bit divided because there was Cubby and Harry and Dana over there. And then there was Terence and Kevin and Sean over here.
Right.
So I liked the Terence Club. I was very happy in the Terence Club.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Terence, I heard you once describe as a frustrated James Bond, Luciana, and he that's been said about him before, that he kind of
frustrated at all. He just gave everything that he had to Sean.
Absolutely.
Every little touch the funny things, the little touches that you see. He had this twinkle in his eyes, Sean, that none of the others ever had.
Yeah.
And he had, and the humor of Terence was always present, and he just gave it to his actor, and he was, in my opinion, Terence was James Bond. Really,
Absolutely.
Don't you agree? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I tell you what, they had what Terence always had, this little mischievous grin.
Yes,
I mean, there was a little there was always a sort of mischief, and Sean had it. And in
yeah,
fact, when I first met Sean, in fact, the first publicity shot we did on From Russia with Love, when we'd literally just met, and I'd been rehearsing, and I was in the full sort of gypsy outfit, and you can see he's standing there with a gun going, huh, and I'm in front going, ha. And it started our mischief. Because there's a sort of mischief that went on between
Yeah.
all of us. I mean, really. And I love that. It was fun. It was fun. The
Well,
twinkle.
if I can just comment on that, it's really clear. One of the things that we love about your performances in there, and in Thunderball, I want to call this out, is because you both challenge Sean as Bond, particularly, the Fiona Volpe character is so much the kind of the anti-Bond, and there's the frisson and the tension between them all the time. But Martine, when Paula Kaplan sort of says, when he says, tell London I've made contact with the girl.
I don't call that contact.
Yes.
But that was my whole relationship with Sean. That was
Yeah.
that was it.
yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
oh,
We
for
stayed
God's sake.
friends after. Yeah, we went to visit him in New York, where he had a house with Michelin and with Michael. So that's many years after. I adore Sean. He was a very macho man. If he had to choose between, let's say, an evening when we were in the Bahamas, they had dinners, every night there was something different. He'd rather go, instead of with the high society of the Bahamas, he'd rather go with the boys to a pub, and that's the way he was. And he had such a great sense of humor, and he was so kind, and he was so patient, and it was fun to be around. He really was.
He
I loved
was.
That's
yeah.
That's lovely to hear.
He really
And I
was.
did tell you one, I did hear you tell one story that I'd love if you could go over again, is when you mentioned earlier the huge amounts of press that came to the Bahamas. And you said, well, one of the most intimate scenes you had with Sean when you were in bed together, there were tons of reporters there. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, yes. Again, then you act and forget it that they're there.
Yeah.
Just like you forget that there is a whole crew there shooting you and steps away. So, but they were forbidden because the cameras really made a noise at the time when you clicked.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
really
yes, that's
tough.
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah,
like
yeah.
today where you can take pictures with your iPhone. So it was like click, 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 click during the rehearsals when we rehearsed. Then during the shooting, it was
Totally
silence.
quiet.
Very,
Yeah.
yeah. It was fun to have them around, though.
Wow.
Can I ask you, one of the things about Thunderball is well known for being one of the most stylish Bond films as well. And you talk a lot of the guys in the lifestyle end of James Bond, they love what Sean wore and all that. But equally so, the women in the film are incredibly stylishly dressed. And what's striking is, we tend to forget, but like 5-10 years earlier, women were portrayed very differently in cinema, I think. So I wanted to get your impression. You had I believe, Coals of California. Martine, you and Claudine Auger had the Coals of California. Oh, my camera has vanished. Come back. There you go. It was called the Scandal suit, I believe. The swimsuit with the sort of it's now in the Museum of Modern Art. One of these
No.
swimsuits from
The one that
I swear
Martine
you can look it up. Yeah, you can look it up.
really.
But wait a minute,
So
all of us wore at one point one of the ones that had the netting.
yes,
Is
that's
that
the one I'm
you're
referring
talking
to.
about?
Yeah,
Well, all of
and
us,
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
wow,
we all had those.
and
Scandalous. Oh my God. It's a
yeah,
bit,
that's what they were called.
that was
yeah.
like, that was like having armor on, considering what it is today.
It's true. It's true. It's true. But did you feel like at the time, was it just something, okay, I'm just putting on the costume and getting on with work? Or did you feel, wow, this is different, women are portrayed differently? Or, did you feel positive or negative about that one way or the other? Or was it just like, we're just going along with, this is what a Bond film is now?
I didn't feel particularly different or better dressed.
Wow.
No. I was in Dubai about 4 years ago, and there was a whole, they took, I don't know, it must have been a 10,000 square feet exhibit of all the Bond. So we decided to go. And I was with my daughter-in-law, Michael, my daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter. And we were on our way to India. So we stopped to see friends. And anyway, we went to see this exhibit. So I'm going around, and they have everything from any movie that you can imagine. So we turn the corner, and all of a sudden I see my dress with the blue boa, and the picture, they did a mannequin, and then on the other side they had a photo. I was really, as I said, it never stops. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
How many years after the movie was made? Like it's 55. It's unbelievable.
It's iconic. I've gone into places like, a trendy like bar or restaurant, and they will have a poster of Thunderball. And the recent Edgar Wright film, Kev, you might remind me of the name of it. That it featured the Thunderball huge poster that the character walks straight into the cinema. The name is, all people in the comments will be shouting at it, but like, it's not just Bond, but Thunderball particularly has a cultural resonance. The style of the way the posters look, the style of the way the people look. There's just the classic sort of Spectre scene with Blofeld behind the shield. I mean, it's so many tropes emanate from that period and from that film, and you guys were part of it, and that's really why we love you. Yeah.
It kind of it was a, how can I say, not perfect for me after I did the Bond movie, because in Italy our very intellectual directors, from Antonioni to Fellini, those kind of directors who befriended me, and we were in the best of friendship and wonderful relationships, going out for dinner and everything. And they said to me, what you did is like a comic book. It's like how do I explain it? They didn't want, I was not my character, what I was involved with Thunderball was not their standard for their intellectual movies. So that was like a little bit of a disappointment, because the only director of that kind that I worked with after was Lina Wertmüller. And Lina Wertmüller, she got an Oscar, for Seven Beauties. She was a terrific director, terrific.
But that was for Questa volta parliamo di uomini, right? The
Questa
same year
volta
as
parliamo di uomini. Oh my God, I'm so impressed. Wow.
Thank you.
You're
But I
Italian.
mean, that was interesting, because it was a satire on Italian masculinity, right? That came out the same year, I think, as Thunderball. So incredible.
This was a director, I tell you, I never seen anything like it. She would tell you, if you smoke a cigarette, she said, you have to put it right there, not here, not there. You have to put it there. Oh, your knee has to go across the leg, and it has to be like that. And when you opened, you became like a little puppet. In her hand. And you felt so uncomfortable doing the scene because it wasn't natural. When you saw the end product and you saw the movie, everything was so smooth, and nobody knew that she was perfection. You had to do it just so. You had to do everything exactly the way she wanted to.
Wow.
Very unusual director. Loved her.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved her. She died.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I mean,
Martine, I was just going to ask you as well. Just for your post-Bond career, any standouts, any things that you really enjoyed doing?
The best thing about my post-Bond was that I didn't have to audition for a few years. I just got signed up.
Great. Nice.
Oh, we want Martine Beswicke. Oh, okay. Where am I going?
That's what we
I
said when we
do.
were organizing this. We want Martine Beswicke.
And, and so after that, it was, it was Hammer, and
Yeah.
then it was, and then I did a Western too, which was fabulous. I really liked that. Interestingly, there's a documentary. There are a couple of women who are doing this documentary on women in Westerns, and it's going to be interesting because I've never heard anyone go there. You know? So and I love doing it. I mean, it's 3 months on a horse, and that was really. So I felt I was really lucky until I went to America and had to start all over again.
Wow.
They didn't even. I mean, Bond wasn't even. They weren't even thinking about Bond anymore, or if they did, it was it wasn't. There was not. There was a kind of a break for me.
Right. And at
Then I
what time
started.
would you say that was roughly, like period wise?
60. I went I went to America in 67, so 68.
So the honeymoon
so it
period
took
was about
me-
3 years or thereabouts.
It took me like a year to sort of get on the machine, basically.
Yeah.
But once I did, then I started guest starring.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
And
and what was great was that I would guest star, and then they'd call me back, a few months later for another guest star. I liked that.
nice. Yes,
Yeah.
very nice.
I became family.
Yeah.
And tell me if I'm probing too much, but at the time you were married to John Richardson. That's
Never
correct. And he
married.
was. Oh, you never married. Okay, sorry.
No,
You were in a
no. I mean,
relationship
they
with him.
keep telling me that I was married. I said, no, you don't understand. I never wanted to get married. I never wanted children. I mean, there were times when people were sort of pushing me to say, you two should really get married and have gorgeous children. And I went, no, 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 no.
I mean, it's an interesting way to sell that idea, but I can understand your perspective. But he had obviously tested for Bond at the time that Sean left. Did you have
I
any
didn't know
memories of
that till later. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was my big love. That was my first big love. He really was,
Yeah.
huge, huge love.
He's a good
Had a
actor.
few. That's why I
Good for
didn't
you.
get married. I liked several.
Good. Sean's not available, though. I just want to point
No,
that out.
and people have always asked me, said, well, did you and Sean? I said, no, he was far too male for me.
I meant
then."
Sean O'Hare, but I'm just joking.
Sean was too male for me
Yeah.
to be a lover. He really,
Yeah.
he was just too macho. I like them. I need a little female in there.
A little soft side too. Yeah. I just want to ask one more thing. We just passed the 60th anniversary of the Irish premiere of Thunderbolts, which happened in February 1966. And Kevin McClory had a big party at the Savoy Hotel next to where the premiere had been screened. Luciana, I did send you that there is a tiny clip of you. It's just, there's no audio. There's a tiny clip of you arriving at Dublin Airport with McClory.
Yeah, I saw it.
And I just wondered if you either of it had you any memories of that.
I'll tell you, I remember the when I came in for the premiere, we were just there one night, and this is not sexy at all. I remember eating the best potatoes I've ever had in my life. Anyway,
We'll take it.
why do I remember that? Well, the whole thing. We went to a restaurant after the premiere or something, and I said, "What is this? I never had a potato that tasted this good." And that is what I remember of that premiere. That's it.
There's a photo of you in the Irish, I think it was one of the Irish papers the next morning, looking amazing, but you had a lovely smile on you. And I guess that is why now, is because you had a
All
great
those
meal the night
potatoes.
before, was it?
I never saw the paper, so but it represented how I felt, and everybody was so nice and so kind. I had such a wonderful, warm feeling, But we were sent back immediately to London next day, so
I
never.
don't know. I don't know if I was there because the only thing I remember is that I remember going to Ireland with Terence and Sean and sort of our gang. But I don't remember doing it for the premiere. I remember doing it there was some sort of a christening or there's something. It was the most drunk weekend I ever had. I mean, it was unbelievable. I didn't know who I was after 2 days. It was
Martine, yes, and you wouldn't know.
Well,
Oh
what
my
goes to
God.
Ireland stays in Ireland, so no secret
Of
spoiled here.
course, yeah. We are doing this interview. Nobody's gonna listen to it.
No, but
Nobody's gonna
All
know.
good.
Of course, got it.
well, look, I'm very conscious of your time. I don't want to take advantage of it. You've been so generous. So we're wrapping up, but I would like to finish with maybe if you could tell us a little about your own friendship and how it's evolved over time. And I mean, it's a testament to because I know, Luciana, you've remained friends with Barbara Broccoli, also with Jason Connery, I believe, as well. So it's so nice to see these strong relationships. But talk a little bit about how the two of you have bonded over the past 60 odd years.
Well,
And no pun intended with the question.
easy. How can you not love her? I mean,
She's very lovable.
Yeah, she and a heart of gold and simpatica, and she has all the attributes, and we just gravitated, and it's like a normal. She's like my English sister, and we
Definitely a
just
sister.
really care about each other, and that's really wonderful. I love this relationship, and I wish Martine all the best always. Love her. So
Right back at you, darling. I do. I mean, I absolutely, it is. I mean, it's always like, oh, I'm going to see Luciana and I'm going to see Michael. I'm going to see, and of course, and the whole family now. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
mad for her whole family. Maria is particularly my darling, her
Yeah.
granddaughter, so it's just lovely. It's just lovely to have that. I mean, and I'm in love with my friends. Truly, and people say, well, you can't be in love. I said, yes, I am. I am in love with them because what do you say? Yes, I love them, but there's something much deeper than just loving someone. I totally adore this woman, Luciana. I mean, I don't know. And it's just lovely. It's just, I just adore her,
Okay. No.
Well, that sentiment totally came across in Phil's dancing video. So I'm going to make sure that you see that or that he sends it to you as well.
Okay.
So listen, we will wrap it up now. I want to thank you both so much. I want to thank Phil again for putting us in touch with you guys, for being so generous with your time. Are you going to continue going to some Bond events? I know there's a big one in Culver City in LA this year. There's also a big one in London at the end of the year with Cue the
That's
Music.
the one I did already. The one in Culver
Oh yes,
City.
that was the one in Culver City. Yes, with
The one that
To Live and Let Die.
Before. I may go to the next one there.
The Hollywood show.
Ollie Lynn Johnson. It's her
Yes,
movie,
yes.
right? So if
Yeah.
I'm here, I will. But
Super.
I have to look at the dates. Anyway, yeah.
Because I'm going to go to the Hollywood show. Oh, I love doing these
nice.
shows. They're really fun. Not only that, but I mean, again, meeting everyone. It's just people are so lovely.
Yeah.
And they're
Yes.
so, I mean, by the way, I just have to say, do you know Kieran, our lovely Kieran that you met? Did you meet Kieran Brown?
Oh, the Irish, the other Irish guy. Yes, I didn't recognize. I didn't remember
He
his
was
second
at
name.
he was at the wedding. He came over. We flew over together.
That's Kieran. Okay. Yes.
Kieran, right? Kieran.
Yeah.
Kieran, I didn't realize, but Caroline told me we met when he was like 7 years old, and he came to a show dressed as Bond. I mean, and here he is, like now one of my best friends.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
That's very good.
So
That's
I
very
mean,
good.
this is how
If
it
you're ever
goes.
in this part of the world, because we do the screenings and we do some meetups, you're all very welcome to come, and we'll feed you well and we'll drink you well as well.
And I want my potatoes.
I was
We
just
bring the
thinking
best
about
potatoes
this.
available to mankind.
And Martine, we'll have a glass of something ready for you anyway for another weekend.
Oh yes,
for you.
please.
So
I'll have the
you're very
potatoes too.
Yes.
I really hope we get the chance to meet, whether it's at a London or LA event.
Yeah.
We'll be
Or
trying to
Dublin.
get to some of those, or
Mhm.
Dublin. We'll be
Love
trying to get to some of those.
I've met Paul, but Kev and Andy and Sean. See you soon.
See
We
you
will
soon.
engineer
Yes,
it. We will get to
Thank you
LA
very
at
much.
some point.
It's been
Thank
lovely.
you so
And
much. I'm delighted you had fun, Martine. Thank you. That was the most important thing for us.
Thank you, guys.
always.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
All the
much.
best.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye, my
Bye
darling.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Bye, you
Bye-bye.
all.
Well, what do we think of that? Fan goal unlocked? Are we all like on a little bit of a cloud here?
I need to
Because
lie
I know
down.
I am.
Favorite episode.
Thundercloud. Yeah, new favorite episode, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No disrespect to those who've gone before, but my goodness, that was
No,
incredible.
Jesus. We have just topped that there. Like that's two Bond girls, one
Two-
conversation. Jesus.
Two Bond girls, two of our favorites from our favorite
We're all
film.
now
I
just
mean,
one step away from Sean Connery.
we're a little more than that, I'm afraid. I'm not sure if you've heard the news, but
Bit of a bigger jump.
Knowing somebody who knew him, we're one step
yeah,
away.
that's true. That's true. One step away. Yeah, but my goodness, what great company. They're so warm and so sort of, I don't know, genuine. There's a genuine, authentic, as the kids say these days. They're very, very authentic. They're just themselves, and they clearly
The
love.
warmth between each other was lovely as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is something we got to experience by having them on together, which I'm really pleased about. We got them, you could see them interacting, just chatting like sort of,
Just
sisters,
up.
friends, just bantering.
Yeah. It was so good. And lovely. It's just
Sean,
so
what was-
down there. And
What was your
more-
highlight, Sean? What did you think was the most fun thing you got from it?
Honestly, just sit and listen to them chatting, and just their experiences of like been like not even just on set, or just like their friendships they built, and a couple of sort of things in there that I learned for the first time
Come
in
in.
terms of relationships. And you're fine, relationships and
Come on
stuff, but it's just so nice,
in.
and probably sitting a wee bit in awe. Can't believe I'm on a chat with them, and I could just
Yeah.
sit and listen to them chatting away, no problem. It was so
Yeah.
good, and how lucky
As you
are
can
we?
see, even my 6-year-olds are trying to get in on the act here. So
I don't blame them. I don't blame them for that.
yeah.
So nice.
But one of the things that strikes me is how different Luciana is from her character, Fiona Volpe, who is like just she's one of the most badasses in Bond, and yet she's so kind of humble and quiet and fun and gentle. She's a gentle character, which is really nice as well.
Good. But even just listening when she was talking, I could just hear Thunderball. It was just so
Yeah. The accent, it's incredible.
Still there.
Yeah.
You just
Oh,
wanted to
so
say, if Bond had died last night as a result of your hastiness, his government would have known for certain that the bombs are here.
Oh, don't. I mean, I'm going to need to lie down for a week, I think, after this.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to change this top. As most people will know, if you don't know by now from listening to the podcast, Thunderball is my favorite Bond film, and to have the two of them just to chat with them, and I hope listening to it is just wonderful to hear the stories and their experiences, and again, like you say, their connection.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I don't have anything to say. I'm just going to lie back now. I'm just it was wonderful.
That's a real buzz, eh? And they know it as well, but they like it. They like the fact that they are there's so much love for them across the world. They get fan letters from across the world. They said, and the people. It's nice that they said that the people at the events were warm and friendly, and as much as we try to present ourselves as modern Ireland, their two memories of Ireland are potatoes and drinking. But sure, how bad?
How bad?
We just have to own it. We just take it. Yeah.
How
We
bad?
just own it, you know. Yeah.
But at least they're good memories. Well, some of
Yes.
them are memories, but they're good memories, though.
It was nice to hear a little bit about McClory as well.
Yeah,
because
that was interesting.
You know, he's often characterized as the sort of the bad guy, and then the opposite side is that, well, you know, he was edged out a little bit by Ian Fleming and Ivor Bryce, but he and Jack Whittingham went. Anyway, there's a long and storied history about that. I watched a great video on it recently. I think it was Appendix did it. Anyway, there's lots of stuff out there. Obviously, I want to thank the many people who we delved into to research this. AJ Chowdhury and Matthew Field again, Monica Germana, also that scripting Bond, and the name of the gentleman who wrote it is slipped through my mind, but there's a lot of great works out there, and you can delve into the history of Thunderball all you like if you want to nerd out. And if you've gotten to this part of the podcast, you're definitely a nerd out type of person. So before we wrap it up, Andy, what were your thoughts? Did you have a favorite part of that?
I just loved every second of it. But like I've said a little bit earlier, I think it was just seeing how warm they were to each other, and there's obviously a genuine warm love and friendship between them, and and a little bit of a cheekiness to them both as well, which I thought was lovely.
Superb. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you can sense it as well. I mean, Martine has a fabulously cheeky sense of humor. She's got very definite ideas about things, and she's just a person who grabs life by the horns and runs with it. And she has a fantastic energy as well. That woman.
Oh, brilliant.
Really great. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for listening. Keep checking us out. We're going to keep bringing you great stuff like this throughout the year, and we're really pleased that thank you for listening. But yeah, we are like, we're all a little bit buzzing right now, so we're going to have to come off our little clouds, come down, and next
I'm
time
in for a drink and a spud. I think we should all go for that now, guys. Come on,
Let's
sorry,
do
I'm
it. Let's do
Let's
it.
go to
It's a
the
shame we
bad
can't go
dash
together and film it. What's that, John?
It was a mad dash home from work, so I am going to get the spuds now.
Well, there we go now.
Good
Go
man.
get it.
Put
See?
the spuds on. All right, listen, take it easy. Thanks a
Take
million.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
True.